Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to the next lecture of computers. I hope yesterday you have done your practicals. We have Yesterday we learned about how to move a file and a folder. Now today we are learning that how can we delete a file and folder, and the next topic is that how can you add or customize a gadget on your computer in Windows 7. Okay. Now we are starting from page number 26, and the topic is same, that how can you delete a file and a folder. Now let's read from the book. Kindly open up your books, page number 26. Now deleting a file or folder, deleting simply means that you don't want that file and you want to delete it from your computer, either file or folder. So fast forward is telling what? That delete a file or folder, you simply have to press delete button which is on your keyboard. And if you want to delete that particular file and folder permanently, then you have to use two keys. First is shift key. You have to press and hold the shift key, and then you have to press delete. By this way, the file which would be deleted will permanently delete it from your computer. Okay. First key delete, with when you use this delete key, the file is deleted and that will move on to your recycle bin. But when you use shift plus delete, that will not move into the recycle bin, that would be permanently deleted. When we move the file in recycle bin, what happens? That we can go back to recycle bin and we can restore that file. In case you think that you need that file, और आपको लगता है कि उसमें कोई ऐसा डेटा था, कोई ऐसा पॉइंट था या कोई ऐसी चीज थी जो आपको दोबारा से उसको रीथिंक करना चाहिए उसके ऊपर डिलीट करने से पहले, देन डिलीट जब प्रेस करेंगे तो रिसाइकल बिन में होगा एंड यू कैन रीस्टोर दैट फाइल एट दैट पॉइंट. But when you shift and delete, then that would be permanently removed from your computer. Okay, so be careful while using these keys. Now, what is the method to delete a file? To delete a file or folder, do as follows. First, you have to click the file and folder to be deleted, and then you have to go to the organize group, which is in our file manager. I'm talking about your Windows 10, or अगर आप Windows 7 use कर रहे हैं, then there would be Windows Explorer. ठीक है. Windows Explorer के अंदर आपके पास organize का ग्रुप है और उसके अंदर से आप डिलीट प्रेस करके कर सकते हैं. ये सेकंड इज right click the folder or click and select the delete option from the context menu. We already have discussed what is a context menu. When we right click from the mouse, such type of menu when open, that is the context menu. ठीक है. इस वक्त मेरे context menu में previous next slide की option है. ठीक है. Okay. अब यहाँ पे इसका बाकी के points क्या है वो देख लेते हैं. Point number 3 is a message box will appear which will ask you that are you sure you want to move the file or the folder or file to the recycle bin. See, हमने delete press किया तो ये आपसे पूछ रहा है that whether you want to delete that file or to move the file to the recycle bin. Click yes. You will find that the file or folder has been deleted. ठीक है. And this is basically organize menu जहाँ से आप इसको delete कर सकते हैं. Okay. When a folder is deleted, its contents are also deleted and it moves to the recycle bin. To delete the file or folder permanently, you have to empty the recycle bin in the recycle bin window. अब ये वाला जो point है ना, deleting permanently and you have to empty the recycle bin, this is for delete option. ठीक है. If you remember, we had discussed two options. यहाँ पे exactly this one, delete और shift delete. जब आप shift delete करेंगे ना, तब आपको ये empty recycle bin वाला काम करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Why? Because shift delete से already वो permanently delete हो जाएगा. But when you delete, then the file would be in recycle bin और वहां से permanently delete करने के लिए you have to empty your recycle bin. I hope these 2 points are clear to you. Okay. Now let's see इसी चीज को let's have a little demo for it. I'm going back to my system, and then I'll show you that how can you do that. Okay. Okay, students, now I'm on my desktop. Now if you see, I'm having some these files. I want to delete it. ठीक है, सबसे पहले मैं आपको अपना recycle bin दिखाती हूँ. This is my recycle bin. इसको open करके देख लेते हैं. In my recycle bin, I would be having some files. Yes, these are some of the files which mostly मैंने अभी तक इसको वो नहीं किया, empty नहीं किया, and I won't do it right now. ठीक है, I don't want to do it right now. What I need you to know is, like, if I want to click, ठीक है, sorry, my recycle bin, this is my recycle bin, and date wise, see, ये आज की डेट है, सॉरी नॉट आज की डेट, इसको हम डेट वाइज कर देते हैं. रिसेंटली मैंने 7th को, को ये वाला फोल्डर या ये वाला आइकॉन डिलीट किया. राइट नाउ मैंने क्यों शो किया आपको? जस्ट टू शो यू that if I press delete button, right, I have selected this file. This is an image. I want to delete it. ठीक है, I have selected it and I'm going to press delete. Right, delete press किया and that file is gone. Right, now let's check in recycle bin. Recycle bin को हम थोड़ा सा refresh कर लेते हैं. See, this icon is appeared here. अब मैं इसको करूंगी restore. Restore किया तो that is back on my desktop. ठीक है, right now I was using delete key. Now I am using shift. I'm pressing shift and holding shift and I am deleting using the delete key. Now see this message. Are you sure that you want to permanently delete this file? I said yes. So this message is for permanent deleting. ठीक है, now let's check my recycle bin. In my recycle bin, I'm not having that file in my recycle bin. Why? Because right now I have used delete plus shift key. ठीक हो गया? Now let's have desktop. Now I'm going to use the file explorer manager or file manager, and I'm accessing my desktop from where I want to delete this file. That was the shortcut. कॉन्टेक्स्ट मेन्यू को यूज किया था. यहाँ से अब मैंने इसको सेलेक्ट किया क्लास 2 को. इफ सपोज आई वांट टू डिलीट फ्रॉम ऑर्गेनाइज मेन्यू, आई विल यूज दिस की डिलीट. ठीक हो गया, डिलीट हो गया. अच्छा, सेकंड पॉइंट वाज फ्रॉम द कॉन्टेक्स्ट मेन्यू, मैंने इसको राइट क्लिक किया एंड हियर आई हैव यूज्ड दिस डिलीट की. ठीक हो गया. नाउ लेट्स चेक माय रिसाइकल बिन. मैंने इसको बंद किया, रिसाइकल बिन को चेक किया. Then these are two folders which I've deleted right now. Okay, आप यहाँ से भी इसको restore कर सकते हैं. I hope these points are clear to you and you will practice them also. Okay, now going back to our lecture. Now the next thing which we are going to learn today is that how can you the topic is, rest of the topic is here. Yes, how can you add gadgets? Or first of all, you have to learn that what are gadgets, right? So gadgets are small programs that you can place on your desktop for information at a glance. Now, now the point is that those girls who are using Windows 7, they would be able to see these options on their Windows. Why? Because Windows 10, like I'm using Windows 10, in Windows 10 there is no option of gadgets. If you want to have gadgets in your computer or in your Windows, then you have to download it. Okay, so I'm not going to download it. I will show you a video that how can you access that in Windows 7 and how can you customize it. Okay, so gadgets are what? Gadgets are small programs. Likewise, the programs are shown here. There's a calendar, there's a clock, there is a currency converter, there is weather forecast. So these are the programs which you can place on your desktop for a view. Windows 7 gives you the option to add a calendar, a clock, weather, and all these things on your desktop. To add gadgets, what you need to do is right click your desktop and select gadgets. The gadget gallery will appear. Select and drag the gadget you want and place them anywhere on the desktop, right? So this is how, if you right click, then you would be having context menu, and in context menu you would be able to see this gadget option in Windows 7. Okay, and next you can customize your option also. Click the option buttons and click the clock of dialog box appears here. You can select your preferred clock. Finally click OK, right? Now I'm going to show you a video of Windows 7 that how can you add and customize your gadget. Okay.
That provides specific information at a glance. Like today's weather or date. And it was first introduced in the previous version of Windows, Vista, and you can only add gadgets or windows over on the right hand side in what was known as the sidebar. Well, in Windows 7 you can add gadgets anywhere on your desktop. To find a list of gadgets that are available and to start adding them to your desktop, just find a blank area somewhere on your desktop and give it a right click, and then go down and click on Gadgets. Here's a list of all these little windows or gadgets that provide information at a glance, and if you want to add one to your desktop, then just go ahead and double click on it, and it adds the calendar to the desktop. If you're not sure what some of these gadgets are or what they'll do, like a slideshow, go ahead and select it, and then down below click on the expand button to get the details of this, and it says the slideshow will show a continuous slideshow of your pictures. Pretty cool. So yes, double click and weather, and notice how when I double click it adds it over to the right hand side by default. Double click on the weather, and if I want more gadgets then I can come up here and click on the arrow, and it looks like on page 202 there's only one more. I'll go ahead and go back. Of course, down in the lower right hand corner it has a link to get more gadgets online. Just click on that, it'll open up a web page and you can search through all the gadgets. Now some of the gadgets are submitted by other people, not all of them are from Microsoft. And it will have a disclaimer saying, look, if you trust the coding that these people use to create these little gadgets or windows with, go ahead and download them, but we're not going to guarantee, or Microsoft isn't going to guarantee that they'll work or you won't have issues on your computer. But at least these default ones right here that came with Windows 7, I trust. I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. Now, when you put a gadget on your desktop and you want to customize it, for example, like I'm not from New York, I'm going to go ahead and when I hover over the gadget, you see that little wrench? Those are the options. You can click on that to bring up the options for the weather. So you can go ahead and type in your location, your zip code, or click cancel. You can also right click on the gadget and come down here and get the same thing, options, click on that. Click in the field down below, type in 84117, which is my zip code, hit enter. I'm in Salt Lake, click OK, and wow, it's pretty cold here in Salt Lake, 19 degrees. Come up here, notice how that these little slideshow pictures are going every other 10 or 15 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and right click on that, come down and go to options, and instead of every 15 seconds, maybe something that's not so fast and crazy, every 2 minutes go ahead and switch pictures. And instead of just popping from picture to picture, I can say go ahead and transition, like a nice fade effect. And then by default it's pulling the pictures from the pictures library folder. If you have another folder that has pictures like of your family, friends, or whatever, you can go ahead and click on this little ellipsis button, 3 little dots, click on it, and it'll say, okay, where's the folder that contains the pictures you would like displayed over in the little picture gadget or slideshow gadget? Well, there's the exercises folder, click Okie dokie, and then click OK. Now notice what happens. In my exercises folder, when I double click and open it up, you'll notice that I've only got, well, 1, 2, 3 pictures in here. So even though I have other stuff within the folder, if it's not a picture, it's not going to display it over here, okay? So what I like doing is creating a little folder over here, calling it my pictures folder, and then put a bunch of pictures in there, maybe a separate folder for the holidays, one for Halloween, one for Christmas. When it's Christmas, I can go ahead and customize the slideshow gadget to point to the pictures in the Christmas folder, Halloween folder, and so on. It's kind of nice, new, something different to look at besides the plain old desktop here. Close out of that. Then I have the calendar, today's date. When I double click on it, it changes it to the monthly view here instead of the days view. Then I can go ahead and scroll back and forth. Now, like I said, this was first introduced in Windows Vista, and you can only display your gadgets over here on the sidebar. Well, you don't have a sidebar here in Windows 7. You can just come up here and click and drag and move your gadgets by clicking and dragging anywhere on your desktop. Looks like a mess, but that's up to you if you want to be able to organize them and put them in the upper right hand corner, left hand corner, or if you have two monitors, and this is my second monitor.
Now girls, you have seen that how can you add or customize a gadget on your systems in Windows 7, right? Now, this is the task you have to do. You have to do the practice of deleting a file or a folder and how to add or customize gadgets, right? And also do the practical of whatever we have done today. This was all for today. I hope the points are clear to you and you will do the practical of whatever you have learned. And best of luck for your learning. Stay blessed and Allah Hafiz.